Good morning, welcome to day 78 of my Munros challenge. So today I'm going to try and walk two routes in one. I'm going to try and walk route number 74 and route number 75. So there's going to be a bit of pathlessness and higgledy-pockery going on to try and join them together. So I'm going to try Beinn Chabhair, which is hill of the sheepfold, and Caisteal, which is the castle, and Beinn Chabhair, which is hill of the hog. So let's get on with it. A long way today. So then we're going to drop under this railway line, and I can see a Land Rover track skirting up the left hand side of the hill up the glen, which we'll take before we head up to the first summit. I'm just looking up the other side of the glen, and that's Cruach Astran that we were up yesterday. So Beinn Chabhair is up there in the cloud at the minute. I'm hoping the cloud will lift. The forecast was a higher cloud ceiling than this, so let's see how we get on. But the plan is to follow this burn pretty much right the way up the glen. We're getting closer. I have to say there's loads of tributaries coming off the side of this hill, and it means there's lots and lots of little ups and downs when you're climbing up this glen. The plan is to make my way up to that ridge line there and then follow the ridge line up to the summit. That's the plan. Let's see how we get on. So we're just crossing this burn now, then the climb starts in earnest up to the ridge line, then we're going to make our way to the summit. The climb starts now, I think. So we've climbed up to the start of the ridge, got about another 400 meters or so of ascent, so a long way to go. A lot of climbing still. Hopefully it'll clear. That might be a Beinn route later, you never know. And that's the glen we walked up. So that's probably Caisteal in the clouds. Wow, Caisteal is just appearing out of the cloud. This one for later. Ours is still in cloud, the first one, but all being well, you never know. So the summit's just coming into view. We could be lucky. Wow. This is the shoulder that we've been climbing up steadily. So we've just come off this top at 9:40, and there's Beinn Chabhair over there at 9:42. So we've just got to drop into a small Beinn and climb up to the top. So we're nearly at the first Munros. So Beinn Chabhair. Wow. Oh, clouds just coming. What a shame. A second ago we had a view of Caisteal and that other top over there, which I have to say looked higher than here. Anyway, this is 2 meters higher. Right, let's get down to that Beinn. It's a nice little spot down there for a wild camp. And yeah, I'm dropping down to the Beinn, which is just coming to view again, and Caisteal just coming into view. So we're a bit luckier on that top. A couple of people have told me on the way down that there's a very steep bit coming up. Wow, bit of a scramble. Yes, that was steep. I don't know how Stan got down it, but he did. Didn't you, mate? Right, onto the Beinn. So in the Beinn, looking back up, it was very, very steep, rocky, scrambly descent. It was quite a lot of fun. No idea how Stan managed that. So Caisteal. There, that's next. A very rocky path this side. Looking across at Beinn Chabhair. Trying to plot a way across to it later. Looks very steep. It does say it's very steep if you want to try and do that as an extra in the guidebooks. There we go, I'm Caisteal. Wow. So what can we see? I think that was Beinn Chabhair over there again. And that was where we were yesterday. Beinn Chabhair. Oh, Caisteal's just coming out the cloud, so you can't see Beinn more, that's in cloud. There's the first one this morning. Beinn Chabhair. So I think the plan is I'm going to try and retrace my steps and look about getting across to Beinn Chabhair. So I'm heading back to the Beinn that we was at earlier, looking for. I might go to the Beinn and hang a right and drop down to the Beinn down there. But I did spot an alternative which I'm going to look at a little bit further down. I spotted this earlier, this potential route down. But I think I'm going to stick with the original plan and drop back to the Beinn and try and skirt round. Just looking back up, it's another very rocky, steep descent. Wow. Okay, so we just dropped down there. We're back at the Beinn, and I'm going to head that way and try and skirt round and drop to the next Beinn. So I'm just hugging the underside of these rocks, as you can see, and making my way for the high point in the Beinn over there. And then obviously if I hit the high point, I've got less to climb on the other side. No path to speak of, it's just using nav, really, sight. So this is the underside of Beinn Chabhair, and you can see it's very steep. So I've come from the Beinn over there, which has taken a lot of the gradient, the steepness out of it, because I'm cutting across. So I'm glad I went back to the Beinn now. So we're heading down over there to the high point of the next Beinn before we start weaving our way up the other side. So there we go. That looks challenging. That's Beinn Chabhair. You have to pick a line, wonder my way up there. There you go, that's the Beinn we've just come down from. Let's go across. And that was the other alternative route up there that I was going to drop down from, which looks steeper. I think I did the right thing dropping the Beinn. When I was coming down the other side, I spotted this burn cutting down through the hillside, and I decided I'd follow it as my route up. And there seems to be a very faint path, not shown on the map, but I seem to have picked up something that's following this burn, so it may have been a good choice. God, that's steep. Oh. This is the alternative route for nutters. Oh. So I'm making a beeline for the top, which is just beyond where you can see that high point over there. So a fair bit of climbing still to do. Gosh, that's steep. Steep, grassy, slippy. Now, I think the top's the other side of that outcrop of rocks, probably another, I don't know, maybe 100 metres of ascent to go. I think that's the top. Hey, Beinn Chabhair, Hill of the Hog. Don't know about that. That was a peak. That was so steep. Oh, that was so hard work. Wow, here we are. Munros 1 and 2 this morning. Wow, just looking down at the Beinn that I've come up. It was very steep. Awesome climb. Oh, in the sky over there, look at the snow and Ben Louis. Wow, it's a fabulous looking mountain, that one. So I'm going to follow this ridge for a bit, and eventually I need to work a way to get off this mountain and head back towards my car, which is parked near Caisteal, a little lay-by just outside. Oh, fantastic looking ridge. So we're going to drop down this to I think the plan is to drop down to about 700 metres and then hang a right, cut across country and try and pick up a Land Rover track that will take me back to the road, and then we'll follow the West Highland Way. There you go, you can see the Land Rover track down there that I want to pick up, so I just need to get down to it. Now that'll take me back to the main road, and then I need to pick up the West Highland Way and make my way back to the car park. This is an absolutely stunning path. That locken over there, nestled on the mountain tops, path wandering along this ridge line. It's absolutely stunning, fabulous, thoroughly enjoying it. So we've got to like a little Beinn on the way down, and I can see the Land Rover track down there, so this seems to me to be a good opportunity to go off piste and cut across country and pick up that Land Rover track. So that's what I'm going to do. So there we go, the burn meets another burn which flows down, which meets another one near the Land Rover track there, so we're bang on schedule. So you can see where we've cut down, all pathless, but we basically followed the burns, and it's helped no end. Just about at the Land Rover track. And do you know, I believe that's Ben Dubcrag and Ben Oss. They're with the two we did before we did the loop round to Ben Louis. Looking very imposing from this angle. I'm just looking back up towards Beinn Chabhair. Well, the underside of it, obviously the summit's way beyond there. A fabulous looking mountain. So I'm on the valley bottom and I've just picked up the West Highland Way. So I'm going to follow this all the way back to the car now. Hi, welcome to day 78 of my Munros challenge. Today I decided to walk routes number 74 and route number 75 and merge them together. It's Sunday the 8th of May and I parked in the long lay-by about 1.5 miles south of Caisteal Beinn on the main road. Wow, what a day. So let's start with the first, Beinn Chabhair. It was a longish walk up a Land Rover track until you get to a dam, and then you follow a path through a very squelchy, boggy, undulating. Although it looks flat on the map, there's lots of little streams and burns and tributaries flowing off the mountainside that you got to drop in and out of until you reach the shoulder, really, and where the path ramps. It makes its height very quickly and continues to do so really all the way to the top. Now I'm saying the top, there's two tops. The first top is 2 meters lower than the second top. although when you're there, you'd swear it was higher. Even when you're on the second top and looking back, it still looked higher, in my opinion. Anyway, the second top is the real top, and the fun really starts now, because the descent down to the Beinn is awesome. It's steep, it's rocky, it's scrambly. It's just a fabulous descent, and actually the climb up and Caisteal doesn't really change. It starts equally steep, and you think, oh, here we go again. Although it does ease and relent, if you like, when you get closer to the top. Fabulous top. I was lucky the clouds had cleared by then. I got to see some fabulous views looking at the various hills that I've been on in the last week or two. Really nice top. I retraced my steps back to the Beinn. Now there were a couple of options off the path back to the Beinn, but I decided the route I took from the Beinn would probably be the best one, and having taken that route, I think it was the best one. As I cut across the contours down towards the high point of the next Beinn, taking a lot of the gradient off the descent. Very grassy descent, but it's still steep. Now the other side, however, I decided to follow a burn, as I was trying to pinpoint my best way up as I was looking across on the descent, and I'd spied a burn which looked pretty good actually. So as I was following that burn, I picked up a small path, very faint, and eventually it disappeared, and you end up just making a beeline for the top, which was extremely steep, very grassy. You're going to navigate around various rocks, almost vertical, very steep. But you know, you come out quite close to the top, and Beinn Chabhair offers a fabulous vista, and it's also got the most amazing ridge path. So I decided to follow the ridge path down, and eventually you'll come to like a little Beinn, around about 700 meters, and that's where I decided to turn off and follow a burn down a very grassy descent, 400 meters actually, all the way down to the Land Rover track. It was quite steep, very grassy, not bad at all really. The last bit I decided to jump the other side of the burn I was following, because the footing looked a lot better. Now when I got to Land Rover track, I followed it all the way down to the West Highland Way, but there were various gates on there, and they're all locked and they're all padlocked. It kind of gave me the impression maybe the landowner didn't want me there. Unfortunately I was committed by then, so anyway I climbed. A couple of the gates had stiles, so that wasn't a problem, but certainly the last gate there was no stile and you had to climb over it. Then I was on the West Highland Way for a couple of miles back to the car. Other than the worst bit of the whole day, the last 500 meters to the car, to the lay-by, I had to walk on the road edge. So it's a big day. I mean, there was 4,791 feet of ascent, so it's a huge day. 14.5 miles, and it took me 8.25 hours